What is going on, all you blue chips out there? It's Friday night. It's Valentine's Day. What do you say we just get to it? That's what she said. Oh, at least I hope so for all you guys out there on Valentine's Day. Anybody know what exactly 1 month from today is? Give you some bonus points. Mr. Gifford might know. You know what March 14th is? Anybody know? I know. How are y'all doing tonight? So, tonight is going to be a pretty simple night. We're going to be talking mainly about, sorry, I'm getting some stuff set up here. I thought I had everything set up, but apparently I did not. We're going to be talking about our strategy, our 1-1-2 that you guys know and love from the past, being brought back this week, being all green this week. Well, not every trade was green, but green every day, minus yesterday because we didn't trade. But pretty happy about it. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is that we're really happy about it. Yeah, that was a little cringe. I'm sorry. So, let's start by bringing this thing up over here. I realized today, too, that my webcam was a little too big. You guys couldn't even see my chart when I was full screen. Like, let me actually check this real quick. There we go. That's much better. I was in AXL, and I was talking about it while I was full screen, and you guys could not even see my chart. I felt really bad about it. Really bad, really bad. I need to, figure out how to deal with that one little group of hair there. See if I can keep it like that. It looks good. I've been trying to train my beard a little bit lately. But anyways, don't forget to hit that like button. Get everybody in here. The more people that hit the like button, the more people will see the stream, the more people will come in, and we can have much more fun, and we can talk and talk and talk all night long into the morning, just like a new relationship. You guys remember those days? You guys remember that? Hope all traders get laid today. Happy Valentine's Day. That's kind of what I was getting at on March 14th, but it's a little different. But let's start with the journal, shall we? Let's pull that back up. So, what was the first day of this week? The 10th. So we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total trades this week, which is a little lower than normal. But as we all know, the coronavirus definitely was interesting. It kind of kept some stocks at bay this week, it felt like. And if you will notice, too, we actually took, we took more longs than we did short this week. Interesting. That was actually our only loser was a long, which was on AXL today. But we shall get to this. Circuit, what's going on, man? Welcome. Zishan, nice to see you in here. So, just going back through the week. We had the winner here on LB. I'm just going to go browsing through the charts here real quick, too. Just to kind of recap the week. So LB was a long, and as you're going to see, we started the 1-1-2 system again. So, excuse my new arrows. I don't know why I just ate some. I don't know. Some people are going to be like, yummy, and then some people are going to be like, ugh. But I just ate some corned beef with cream cheese. It's one of my little snacks that I can have on the old keto diet. It's one of my favorite snacks, actually. Love it. So, got the big extension move right off the scanners. You guys know by now, if you know me at all, you know that all of my plays come off of those scanners. I can't talk any more good about those intensity stock watch scanners than I do. That all of my plays come right off of there, and you see these perfect setups over and over and over again. It just was a matter of me going back and applying discipline to the trades and getting them right and completing my risk. So anyways, we got long here on LB. We added as it wanted to continue down into the support. We were risking off this 2340 area. As you can see, there was support from the day before. Bounced right off of it. Got the nice big retracement up here. Took our first, it was the majority of our shares here. We were looking for this thing to go higher. It kept making higher lows. And the first time it didn't make a higher low is when we exited the position. We were hoping to get a nice big, pull back up there towards 25, maybe back towards those pre-market highs. That was kind of the hope there. It didn't quite give it to us, ended up going lower the rest of the day. On to the next trade. Oh, new feature on TraderSync alert, new feature alert. All right, so LB, we'll go back to that one. That's the one we were just on, right? Yep. Okay, so he added these little arrows so we can go to previous trade or next trade. So in this case, since we're working backwards, we would go to previous trade, and that would bring us to AMKR. AMKR was a short position, and I'm not sure why I cut the chart off there, but it doesn't really matter. We got the move right out of the gate. This thing, the only thing that stinks is we didn't get the prices, but we could always just scroll up and see what those were. First sell was at 1424 through 14, and then we got the 1450 pop. We got the add, and it looks like we bought them all back at 1407. So that is a pretty solid trade. What was the return on that? 37 cents a share. Beautiful. So got the pop. This was the 14 pop right here. Took a starter. It went up. Decided to try 1450. And again, this is something that we started to notice at the beginning of the week. We really need to try to get full size. We had our line there based off the daily, and I'm going to start showing you guys this in a little bit. That's kind of how we're finding our entries now. We're basing them right off the daily, and it's been working pretty awesome right now. It's actually kept us out of a couple trades that I probably would have taken in the past, so I'm trying to figure out a way to get around that, maybe just kind of starting smaller, knowing that it could run. But the odds are the moves I'm looking at, they're not going to continue to run all the way up to those resistance points on the daily, at least in one shot, especially with the floats that I'm playing. So I really need to kind of figure out what I want to do with that. Maybe like cut it in half, just use like a keyhole dollar, something. We're going to figure something out. It's kind of part of tonight's live stream is we're going to talk about that and maybe try to figure out a way to get some entries that we would have other missed based on the way that we are getting our entries. But anyways, we are looking to get that final add up near that key resistance that we found on the daily. It didn't get there, and once we realized that we had found the top is when we could have added our final size to get max size on this, but however we did not. Still got the nice drop, and we ended up making some monies. But the thing is, we made 11 bucks. So which I apparently didn't put the commissions in on this one. I was going to say the two numbers shouldn't be the same. But, I mean, again, before commissions, we made 11 bucks, so it should have been 22 bucks if we would have got to full size. So, next trade. Well, now I'm curious if I did it for this trade. I did not. Man, I went on a streak of not putting my commissions in. Interesting. Usually I don't do that. This week was kind of hectic with the kiddos, I'm not going to lie. But at least now we caught that. Actually, you know what? Let me go back to the dashboard and just make sure I didn't do this for a bunch of them. Okay, so I did it here, and this appears to be the last one. I did it here too, and here. What the? I'm starting to, no, this was, I don't, I'm going to have to go back and check all of them, apparently. I'm usually really good with this. So excuse me for a second while I fix all of these. I feel like a nub cake. If you guys do have any questions as we are going through everything, feel free to chime in. I'm all ears. We are a community. We're here to engage together. We're here to take over the stock market world. I am the evil villain here to assist you. Just kidding. We started watching Toy Story 4 tonight. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie, it's got some nice adult humor in there. there, 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 there. I know this must have been a recent thing. I know if I keep going here, we're going to be good. Yeah, look at all those reds when we were trying that new strategy. Not new strategy, but just trying to implement it differently. I couldn't figure it out, and it was just silly. But okay. And Thomas actually brought up a good point. I don't know if Thomas is here yet. Kevin, what's going on? James McDermott, what's going on? No, you didn't miss the balls thing because I didn't get them. I didn't get them in the mail. They said they were going to be here today, but they changed it around like 7 o'clock tonight to tomorrow. A little disappointed. Jeff says I made it nice beanie. It's cold in here. It's cold. I'm actually warming up now because I got the beanie and I actually almost put my jacket on too. I would have been sweating already. But yeah, the beanie and the light on me for the lighting here. You can see it's it's starting to get a little warm. So the beanie might come off a little bit later. I'm not sure how my hair looks though. Anyways, back to where we were. We left off on AMKR. Let's jump into FLDM. This was just a one entry trade. This was a buy at the bottom, and this thing shot right back up to that key area of $4, so we just took it off. Again, we could have realized that we got in and it was just going up. We could have at least hit one more ad there. As you can see, it got up to about 385 maybe, and then it came back down a little bit. That's where we could have looked to add once we realized, or even if we wanted to just add as it was going through that 385 area. There's no reason that we shouldn't have got at least one ad in there. Maybe even try to get to full size and then just risking off that bottom right there. Let's go to the next one. LSCC. I remember this one. This was a nice one, a nice top tick. And again, this one was a little bit frustrating because it literally went right to that resistance area that we found on the daily and just poked its head through. We hit it once and it decided to come down and came back up and hit that same area again and rejected. So there is absolutely no reason that we shouldn't have got at least one ad or full size here and then risking off this thing going high a day again. So I was actually really frustrated at myself on this one because the thing is, when I'm starting a position, like let's see how many shares we took here just to reference. Okay, 25. We ended up making, 49 cents on this thing. So just imagine this was $12.25. That's a quarter of what I could have made. So if we just real quick want to bring this up. So $12.25 times 2 times 2. I can't do that math. So we basically been right around $50. All we had to do was get full size. Now, keep in mind, our entry was 2160. So let's say the high day was 2175 and we had 2160. So let's bring the old trusty calculator back out here. Crappers. Okay. So 2160, and say on the way back down, we realized, okay, it failed going high of day. It's coming back down. So 2160, we actually got to full size. So say we got 100 shares at our full size. So real quick, one last check. What did we get for the 2111? Okay. So even if we took it all at once, so 2160 minus 2111, I mean, I can tell you that's 49, obviously. So let's clear that. So we would have made $49. All we would have been risking if we got full size there was and that's the other thing too, I'm not going to let it go just like right through high of day and stop us out. I'm going to start giving it maybe like 10, 11 cents. So even if it was 75, that would be, we'll say 86. So if our average, so it's 26 cents, it'd be $26, right? So we would have made 2 to 1 basically on our money just to get full size at that point, right? Once we realized that it was faking us out, I don't even know why. Apparently I didn't need the calculator. I'm getting better at this simple math thing. So once we realized it was rejecting, if we would have jumped in full size saying, okay, we'll just risk high a day because obviously it wants to reject. We're looking for that pullback that we were looking for anyway. And sure enough, we would have made a lot more money, right? That's what we need to be doing. And I'm starting to see that as the week goes on. which you will even see in my trades as we go on. So AXL, this one was a little bit different. I don't think I got rid of it yet. Let me see. I did. Okay. So it's on the other one. I'll show you when we get there. So CC, this was from today, and you'll see. Look what happened. We learned a little bit. So we hit the pop. We actually missed this first one. I did go back and check, and the reason we missed it is because the spread was a little crazy. But when it popped up the second time and went through high of day, we decided to jump in. We top ticked it. It tried to come up, and it just didn't seem to want to go high of day again. The spread wasn't that great, but as it was coming back down, we said, okay, we're going to at least hit for half size, right? We were like, we're not going to take the full risk, even though we could have, right? Just risking this high of day, even if it was like plus 11 cents or whatever it was. I'm thinking maybe doing like plus one, high of day plus 1%, because that seems to work fairly often. It kind of prevents you from getting stopped out very easily. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. And we forced the ad, right? We forced the ad. We got half of our max size, and we got the flush back down towards that area we were looking at, and we got filled. So we were happy with that. So let's look at this. Let's look at it backwards now. So we made 20 bucks on this, but if we wouldn't have did that, we would have only made 10 bucks, right? Now imagine if we would have got full size, we would have made 40 bucks, right? So we need to start realizing by not getting the max size and trusting the process, we're leaving some pretty decent money on the table, even with these small amount of shares, right? You see where I'm going with this? And this was one of my problems if we go all the way back, right? Taking so many small wins just by getting 1 and 2 entry trades that, yeah, they're working and we're green, but say it's like $10, $10, $10, $15, $20, $10, 15. Like, yeah, they add up, but now my max loss was $100. So if I would lose $100 and then it would take out the last 9 to 10 trades, and that can't happen. But even just now, I'm only risking $50 per trade now. So you can see how I've already improved quite a bit. You've seen, like, if we go back to the dashboard real quick before we look at the other AXL trade, I'm bringing in, $25, $13, $10, $20. Now, obviously, this is all before commissions, $10. But this is all based off of a $50 risk now, where I was bringing in these same kind of numbers when I was risking $100 a trade. So now, if I'm only risking $50 a trade, look, it's only taking me 2-3 trades to make that back, not 9 to 10. So we're doing a lot better. Now, imagine if I would have got max size on all of these. This one would have been over $50. This one would have been $22. This one would have been $30. This one would have been $24. This one would have been $40. This one would have been even this one only would have been $20. But you see where I'm getting at? I'm almost to the point now where some of these trades, if I'm scaling incorrectly and getting max size, I'm almost risking 1-to-1 on these. And that's amazing. You see some of the guys that scale in these positions, other people that trade this kind of way, where they're risking 10 to make 1. That's mind-blowing. If you start trying to scale that up, that's a little scary. What if it goes 10R against you and just plateaus and doesn't come back down, give you any kind of pullback? That's going to hurt. But if we're always just risking that 1R, we're in pretty good shape, right? So that's the thought process here. These might be small numbers to a lot of people, but we're trying to perfect a strategy. Instead of going on paper and which you could, we just decided to go down in shares, keep some skin in the game, and really hammer this strategy down, right? We want to get it to the point where it's perfected so that when we do go to scale up, the numbers don't matter, right? All we're doing is just adding some share size. Everything else stays the same. That's the point. But we're not even to the point yet where we've mastered this strategy. As you can tell, I didn't get max size on any of these positions, and I should have on every single one of them, except for the AXL trade, which I'll show you in a second. So AXL, if we go back down, let's see. So here's the chart. So AXL, we jumped in on the intense move to the downside right off the scanner, and it popped right back up and got immediately rejected. And I just did not like how this thing was trading. It was just very choppy. and it was just struggling way too hard. So as it was coming back down towards the low a day at the current time, I said I'm just going to jump out and see what it wants to do. If I'm wrong and it starts to come back up, we can always get back in. I was right. It dumped through, and we actually went upon our business, and we were trading CC at the same time. So we got out of CC like pretty much right as this was all happening. We were cycling through our charts again, pulled up AXL. We saw a pretty key support area on the daily around 870. I must have got rid of the line before I took the screenshot here. And so we jumped in right at 9, looking to base it off of that 870 area. Well, once I realized that it was struggling to get through 9, it was holding it as support, we forced an add, right? Just like we did earlier on CC. And I didn't get full size. This was just half size, and we got the move up. And the reason I got out here was pretty stupid because it squeezed up, and we had put an order out at 938. It got to 933, I think it was. You guys can go back and watch the live trade if you want. But I just was like, this thing did this last time where it shot up and then rejected right back down. If I just take it now, I can get the top of the candle, top of the squeeze, because it felt like it was slowing down, and I actually hit it as it started to come back down. So I was like, I felt like it was just going to pull back, and if it wanted to continue, it would have to go through the pullback first. And I was like, well, I'm just going to take my profits. And I just don't trust longs. I really don't. I just don't trust them as much. As you can see, right after we got out, you can't even see the candle under my arrow because we literally bottom ticked that candle, and then it just went up from there. So we were obviously wrong in taking profits there, but that's going to happen. Yeah, obviously hindsight's 20/20. So that's that's all I have as far as my trades this week. And like I said, you can see just from today that we improved a little bit. We forced ourselves out of our comfort zone to start adding some size, and it worked both times. So it really starts to bring some clarity, right? How do you learn to do something? You learn by doing it, right? That's the only way to learn. So let me pull this back over here, and you'll see that we actually nailed CC pretty well. Let me go back to this right here. So CC came down to about, what was it, like 9 or 1750? Yeah, right on the dot, and then it never came lower than that the rest of the day, and our fill was pretty close to that. It was 1775 because that's where we put our order out. I don't even think it came down back below that. Yeah, 1780 was as low as it got after it came back up on that same candle. So pretty good cover there. And again, hindsight's 20/20. We don't know, and just like on AXL, how do you know that AXL is not going to do this exact same thing just the other way, right? You don't. And it actually ended up doing that just later in the day after it kept squeezing a little bit there. So let's catch up here real quick. 10 likes, here we come. We're only at 6. Make Jonathan proud, guys. He's our like master here on the Friday night live stream. Give us that 10 likes. If we can get the 10 likes, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a way that you can get some free money. And it's not a scam. I already tried it. BTC did break 10K. I'm actually curious where it's at right now. Just out of genuine curiosity. Let's pull it up over here. We'll go full screen one more time. 10,257. I know we got up a little higher than that. Yeah, where were we? We were right around 10,500, right around it. Interesting. Can't wait for Ethereum go to 1K. Hey, gotta go, but just wanted to say hi and have a nice weekend. Or you just said say have a nice weekend. All right, Charlie, good to see you, man. Vincenzo, I don't have the Cajonis for 10-1 risk reward. No, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say you have it backwards, but no, you're right. The risk reward and some, yeah, there's some people out there that do it. It's a little scary. ETH Ethereum definitely will break 1K. Tim, do you play? Nope, sure do not. The only thing I own in crypto is Circuit. I actually own a very, very, very small piece of Bitcoin, but that's only because I have not used it to buy more Circuit. Jonathan's been right about a lot so far when it comes to crypto. So, all right, we got the 10 likes. That was quicker than I thought. So I'm going to go on a little Weeble rant here for a second. I know a lot of you may have already used Weeble. If you have not, this is definitely for you. I went out of my way and tested this myself before. It took me about a month to make sure everything worked. But basically, what you do is you make an account, and I have the link down in the description. I can also throw the link in the chat real quick. Let me find it. Copy link. So with this link, all you have to do here, I'll actually just show you when it pops up. So I'm going to click the link literally that I posted in the chat. This is what's going to come up. So all you have to do is open an account. And I actually had Thomas did this today. And you get your first free stock. It'll be between $2.50 and $250 just for opening the account. Then right here it says deposit any amount, but I'm not sure if that's true. I think it might have to be $100. I know that's what it was when I did it, but this does say any amount, so I'm not sure. Just make sure that you check when you do it. But then you get a second stock literally for just depositing money into the account. And that one will be valued between $12 and $1,400. So you get two stocks, one share, completely free. Literally. I did this myself. I got Snap, and I believe the other one was I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. This was about 2 months ago when I was testing it out. But you literally open the account, deposit the money, get your two stocks. I think you have to wait until the stock actually like matures into your account. Once it does, you can literally sell the stock right then and there, no matter what it's worth, whether it's worth $2.50 or whether you got a $250 stock and a $1,400 stock and you got $1,650. You can sell that right then and there. And then you have to hold that money in the account, I believe, for a total of 30 days. And then you can cash it out. Literally never making a trade except for selling the two free stocks that you got. Free money. Literally free money. It might not be that much if you kind of get the short end of the stick with the price of your stocks, but you can literally take a chance. It's like playing the lottery where you're guaranteed to win some money. You just don't know how much it's going to be. So it's that simple. It's that simple. And that was my rant on Webull. I'm just going to leave it at that. Looks like Garage Day Traders in the house. EFT is life. I don't know. I just never got into EFT. Wait, EFT is we were talking about ETH. Now we're talking about EFT. No, I do not play EFT. Garage Day Trader does play EFT. Coinbase offers free crypto, just FYI. I do have Coinbase. I use that to I use that to cash out my monies. That's actually how I pay for the master nodes for Circuit. I use I can sell it for Bitcoin, and then I take the Bitcoin and cash it out into my PayPal through Coinbase. No affiliation there, just letting you guys know that's how I do it. Yeah, Jonathan did say that Circuit or Bitcoin was going to break 10K this quarter. Yeah, I'm right. Don't worry. Just hold until 2021. I think he's just saying like they have a like a way that you can watch it and whatnot. I have to scroll up in my conversation with Jonathan real quick on Discord. Here it is. And one more thing, Jonathan reminded me, not like actually told me, but just by seeing him in here, it does remind me. The Circuit newsletter, guys, if you are interested at all in following Circuit and the amazing project they got going on, I actually just got some inside information from Jonathan himself, letting me know that he is working with another driver for a possible sponsorship. So just, he is always working. The guy, I don't even know when he sleeps. He messages me sometimes at 3 a.m. asking if I want to play Rocket League. I'm like, dude, go to bed, right? He's like waking me up trying to play some Rocket League. I'm like, dude, I don't feel like trying to carry you to Grand Champ anymore. You gotta get good on your own, right? So anyways, there is the link. It's just a newsletter if you want to sign up for that for Circuit. So if you guys are interested, The site will be on there, Zishan, as well. So, okay. That's all I got for the free money. Again, free money right here. I'll throw the link there in the chat again. All you have to do is make an account and you get a free stock. And then if you fund the account, supposedly with any amount, you also get the second stock, which is valued at a little bit more than the first one. Could be a lot more, obviously. It really just depends on your luck. My luck sucked. I didn't get that high, but hey, it's free money. And I explained to you how it all works. So, and if you have any questions, just let me know. And yeah, so I can actually just X out of that because I don't need it. You will carry me back to champ. Yeah, I think I did carry you to champ in casual. If I mean your rank is way higher than mine because you actually play that. I don't, but you just play bots probably. That's why you always win. You just like to play bots over and over again. So let's go back to this chart here, or well, this screen. And so the idea that I'm looking, yeah, that's true. Thank you, Justin. Justin has done it as well with Weeble, and I actually believe that he is also in. They like to call them influencers, I believe, over there. They don't really call them like affiliates, but I guess it's kind of the same thing. Of course, I get something for sending you guys over there, but it's actually much less than what you guys get, right? They're just giving me a little kickback. But the only reason I'm even doing it is because it's literally free money. It's free money. How could I not tell you guys about that? I'm not going to hold you guys away from free money. So until they stop me from just telling you to sign up just for the free money, I'm going to tell you guys about the free money. So get it while you can, because I'm pretty sure they want me to, in order to stay like a Weeble influencer, they want me to actually try to influence you to use Weeble, and I'm sitting here telling you, hey, just use Weeble for the free money. So I don't think they want me to do that. How much were your 2 stocks worth you got for free? One, Snap at the time. Let's just take a look. Snap at the time was like 15 something. Let's see. Yeah, it was 2 months ago. And as you can see, like right around 2 months ago, it was like 15. And I don't even remember why. I actually think I sold on like this candle because I think I had put a stop loss underneath this high here, thinking this was a nice pivot point if I wanted to go below. And as you can see, it was a fake out. And then I sold it. And I'm pretty sure the other one was I wonder, let me just check. No, it wasn't I. I is the one I tried to play in the Weeble account. That's not the free stock that I got. I is the reason that I stopped swing trading. I was like, you know what? I'm going to open up the Weeble account and then I'll try to do the swing trading thing. And let's see if I can see which. I might need some help. You guys, somebody that uses Weeble might be able to tell me where I can see like my past trades. Orders. Here we go. Snap OPCH was the other one. So Snap was obviously my second stock that I got. OPCH was the first one. Maybe was it? Snap I. Yeah, it was. So I could have swore that one of mine was like a lower priced. Maybe I was just remembering when I played I. Because that's the, I only have, let me see if I can show you. OPCH down the bottom, there's only one order for that, and it was to sell. And I got the 1 out of 1 there. So, there was no other, these are literally all the orders for my entire account. That, like, if you can see, everything you see in my window, like, I can't scroll up or down. That was, like, the entirety of my swing trading career right there. But you can see, like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Snap stop orders that I put in that I canceled. So those are in there. And then on bought and then sold and then bought and then sold. Both of those were losers, pretty big losers, because if we go back and look at what that thing did back when I was trying to play it on this big drop, and I got long here, and it tried to come back up, but then I was looking for a bigger retracement, and it fell through, so we got stopped out. And then I tried it again somewhere trying to catch the knife, and I got burned, and I ended up just taking the loss once I realized it wasn't bouncing. So yeah, that was a fun one. But I did get the 2 free stocks. So it was Snap and OPCH. So go back to OPCH. I could have swore. I wonder, does it tell you the price? Let me see if it tells me the price. If I click the order. Am I typing the ticker in wrong? OPCH. Because when I click on that, it says average price was $3.29. And I put a stop in at $3.29, and I got stopped out. OPCH. This was on November 12th of 2019. November 12th, this stock OPCH. I mean, I'm not blind, right? Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh. It says OPCH. I'm so confused. How is it two different? Like, let me see if I can search OPCH on the app. See what comes up. OPCH. Yeah, it now currently says 1728. What the heck? That's so confusing. Why did it tell me it was only $3? Did I only have? Well, it couldn't have been like a portion of it because it said one share in the order. They gypped me somehow. What the heck? I don't know. Whatever. I can't go back and do it. I'm not going to go back and fight over like $14. But anyways, as you can see, it works. It works. How much was Justin's free stock? I don't know. So let's take a look. Ford is just F. So $8 stock. Could have been higher. I don't know when he got it, but it's probably 8 to 9. So did you find where the replay feature is on? No, I didn't. I actually went and looked, and I couldn't find it. So if anybody knows where the replay feature is on Webull, let us know. So we had a bloomin' onion today. This guy. Who's the bloomin' onion? What? Zishan, I see you said you already have an account. I'm sorry to hear that. They email me mad I don't talk about them. LOL. What are you talking about? They're mad at you for what? Saying what I'm saying? Because I guess they're going to get mad at me then. And he said, what was the other one? Ford. Oh, and some other small price. Ford pays dividends, if I remember correctly, for Robinhood. Will they even pay dividend on one share? I guess they have to because it is per share. For Robinhood, I got lucky. I got Apple. Nice. They do this for Robinhood too? Man, I might have to go check that out. Tim, are you stopping by for the live stream tomorrow? Of course I am. You have another live stream? Usually, I didn't know you were doing one tomorrow. I'm doing the Coinbase free coin thing. Do they give out quiz? I personally have not used it, but know countless individuals. Gotcha. Webull for saying nothing. Gotcha. Do they still let you do your thing with it? Like, do they still allow the signups and stuff? It's version 5.0, which I don't have and don't know if it's not out yet. Maybe. Sure. Thanks for looking. Let me pull up my desktop version. Does it have to be on the desktop? Maybe. Because I only checked on my phone. I wonder, do I even still have the desktop? Yeah, I do. Let's pull it up. Let's see if we can find it together. Well, I guess let's see what version I have first. If I can say about. Yeah, let's check for update. So it's telling me 3.9.54 is the current version, which is already the latest version. So I think we're going to be out of luck there. Webull replay feature. Dun, 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 dun. So it says Webull releases 5.0 version. This was back on March 7th of 2019. Market replay function. Hold on, I'm doing some quick research here. Doesn't say how though. How do you... People also ask, how do you make money on Webull? Come on. It's just, I feel so bad for those people. Ugh. Replay feature is in the charting where you can draw. In here? Drawings. Tell me where, Katie. Tell me where. You'll make Mr. Giffords, you'll make his day. Hit the circle on the bottom of the main stock page. On the app or the desktop version? I'm not very familiar with Webull's platform. See? It's not available on desktop. All right, let's check the phone real quick. Let me see what version I'm running. Anybody have any good plans for this weekend? Remember, you don't show up Monday looking to trade. You're going to be disappointed. So hit the bottom circle. The middle, right? Okay. I'm at my account page here. Hit the circle on the bottom. Is in the charting where you can draw. It wouldn't. Let me hit about here. So yeah, I'm on version 5.9.8.11. So let's see. Seems to be a go on the announcement tomorrow. Nice. Well, I kind of told everybody what it was. Sorry. I see performance. I'm not even seeing where I can look at the trades. Let me just pull up a stock here. Let's go with Tesla. James McDermott, $2 through the super chat. Is that for real? Testing the super chat. That was from last Friday. James, if you're still here, apparently you have to donate another $2 because for some reason it alerted you. It's trying to give you a reminder. It looks like an eye. So I have a chart up. It says trade. See chart. Oh, I see replay. Ah, look at that. So this is, can I slow it down? Okay, there we go. So this is not to trade. This is literally just to watch the replay of what the stock did for the day, correct? Because that's what I'm seeing here. Like just to show you. So it's showing, this is actually yesterday, which makes sense, but so it's at 60x right now, which is what it defaulted at. Let me try to get it without the light in the way here. This way. Yep, there we go. So this is what Tesla did yesterday. So I'm assuming is okay, and it's only a line chart. So there you go, Mr. Gifford. Apparently, you can only do it on the mobile app, and all you have to do is pull up the main chart here, and then down here, I think it was, no, it wasn't options. I hit more, and then there's replay down here, and then it loads it up. So you can't actually trade with it. That would be nice. But yeah, there you go. So we solved something already. The other thing, if you guys didn't notice, real quick, I'm going to pull up DOS real quick. They have a data stream mode now. You can actually replay stocks on DOS now. You can pick a symbol, let's say Tesla. Now I'm getting to the bad part. You can pick the 13th, which is yesterday, and you would literally just hit download. History data can only be downloaded. Oh yeah, you got to change it to replay. But you're going to see another one. I did hit replay mode. Oh, I got to hit apply. So no permission, right? So I emailed CMEG about this, and they said $100. And I was like, get the heck out of here. Paying $100 for this. And they basically said, well, that's what they're charging us. And I said, oh. And I was actually talking to Constantine from Team ISW, and he said Interactive Brokers actually charges only $15 for the same exact thing on DOS. So I actually sent that. I found a screen grab of Interactive Brokers actually saying that. It was $15 for the replay feature. And CMEG was like, thank you for this information. We're going to be looking into this. And I was like, okay. So hopefully, by me being me, maybe we'll get the replay feature on CMEG for a little bit cheaper. Even if it's like $25, that would totally be worth it. Because I could sit here at night in my free time and go back and practice these, right? And go back and practice each one of my trades over and over again until I figure out, like, I could go back and be like, so in the moment, I couldn't figure out how to get max size. But if I go back and replay it like 3 or 4 times, maybe I can start to see how I could have. Obviously, knowing what it's already going to do makes it a little bit easier. But you can, instead of trying to just make more money out of knowing what it's already going to do, start to look for key areas of where we could have hit the button, to get some ads in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously, anyone who's using or trading like on demand or like just via replay, you have to take it serious. If you're not going to take it serious and you're just going to trade and be like, oh, look, I could have made all this money. But you already knew what was going to happen. Chill out. Zishan, WTF, I didn't get my free coin. Well, welcome to crypto. That's crypto for you. Crypto, they tend to just do what they want. Okay, so let's talk about my strategy and my entries. I'm really curious on what your thoughts are. So right now, like for instance, on CC, what did we take? We took 25 shares. I told myself, and the reason I took 25 shares on this is because I saw the kind of range it was giving us, so it was a little bit easier to start with that. But what I've been doing is I've been finding a key area on the daily, which actually, it might have been this one. Yeah, 1912. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So when we went to get in, we saw that we got in at 1829. The top of this candle was 1838. So that was about 75 cents. So we clicked the 75-cent button, and it loaded 60. So half of 60 is 30, half of 30 is 15. So our starting share size should have been 15. Looking to add as it got closer to this area, and then looking to get our final add at this resistance pop through 19. That's the idea behind it, right? And that would mean we're risking $50. If we would have, on our first entry, took 60 shares and the price went against the 75 cents, we'd be down $50. So the thought process behind the 112 is if we take that same 60 shares, only enter in a quarter of the position there, if it continues to go against us, we can look to add, and then we can look to get our final size higher, which means we've split the 60 into 3 different entries, knowing that we will never hit $50 when we get to that resistance point. One of my huge issues before when I was risking $100 is a lot of times I'd lose a little bit more than $100, like sometimes like 110, sometimes like 130, 140 due to slippage. But the reason is I was calculating hitting $100 exactly at those resistance points, and that's where my problem was. So if now my resistance point is here, but I'm only risking the $50, I wouldn't necessarily hit that $15 until, say, up here around 1950. So I'm giving the stock plenty of room to try out that resistance area even if I get that final ad in there, I can let it go without me just for a little bit and then watch it try to come back down, give us the pullback that we're looking for. So that's the idea behind my entry system now. The problem with this entry system is, say this resistance that we found on the daily is at $20. So now when we jumped in at 18.29, that's over $1.50 away. We'll just use $1.50 for instance. Now we only get half the shares to play with. So half of 30 is 15, half of 15 is 7 or 8. So let's just say we start with 7 so that when we go up, we're at, or if we go up, we're going to weight the weighted side of it will be higher up. So if we're only starting with 7 shares here and we're only getting like a 50-cent move, 50 cent move on 7 shares is $3.50. That's crap, right? So that's the issue I'm running into. Now, if it was $1.50 away from a resistance point on like a $90 stock or something that's moving a 1.5, 2 points, that's different, because if you're looking for a 2-point pullback, then, starting with 7 shares isn't so bad. If you were to only get a single entry, you get 2 points, that's $14. If you were to get your ad, now you're talking around like $20, $28 possibly on a 2-point pullback. Now, if you even go up a little higher and you get max size, you're now talking over that $50 quota that you're looking to get. But on something like this, it would literally have to keep ripping. And as you could tell from the first move it made, the range on this was about 1660 to about 18. So it was about $1.40 range. Obviously, that's not going to happen on this stock, especially with higher floats. I don't know exactly what the float was on CC, but it was definitely not a lower float, which would give it the capability of probably making a run towards 20 all in one move. So that's the problem that I'm kind of running into. Replay helped me tremendously with scalping. Oh, never mind. I did. You just have to wait 5 minutes. See, Sean, you gotta have that patience with the PAY. Doing business with the Chinese. Monkey Army says hello. Yo, doing business with the Chinese. Let the Monkey Army know about what's going on over here, man. Bring some of the Monkey Army over here. No offense to, I don't even know does anybody know his real name? I believe he's said it at some point, but I just never remembered it. But he is just so stuck in his ways. He is a very stubborn guy. And it's so funny too, because every time I check in on him and I check on his live stream, it's always the same thing. Like, he'll take a trade and it'll be working for him, and then he gets out like so early, and he says it right after, I did it again. I always do this to myself. And it's like a script. It's almost like a script. It's kind of crazy. And you see everyone in the chat, the 100 and some people watching him, which is just, it befuddles me. But they all just say, Monkey, why'd you sell so early? It cracks me up. It really does. I do feel bad for him, because he really wants this. And the sooner he realizes that he is the problem, he will have a better chance at moving forward. But until he does, I'm just sorry to say, but the people it's crazy that I know all the people that are watching him are there for either 2 reasons. One, just because they find pure entertainment out of it, which I really believe like 80% of the people there are there for that. And the other 20% are there to genuinely try to help this guy. Because I was one of them at the very beginning. I am personally responsible for getting his live stream set up, because that was actually back when I first started live streaming, and he used to watch me before he was, better than, too good for me. But he asked me to help him set up the live stream. So I did. And then, it kind of was like, hey, okay, maybe, he'll ask for some help with some other things. And that was obviously not the case. I tried for about a month. I want to say it was like 3 weeks, maybe a month. And he just didn't want nothing to do with it. So I moved on, right? I'm not gonna waste time on somebody that doesn't want the help. So been watching him for probably half a year now. It's like the Truman Show. You get attached. Pretty much. That's what I said. People are there for the entertainment at this point. The Monkey Army and his keychains. Like I said, I seriously feel bad for the guy. I just what he really made. Literally started cracking up when he told me that he was going to be making $2,000 a day by November this year. He gets at it with that. There's a guy that comes on the channel from the Fast and the Furious movies, Mike, and then I don't know if you guys have seen the latest Fast and Furious, but his ID, his passport, his name is Mike, and then the last name is Cauxmal, I think it is, and it's like Coxmall, like Mike Coxmall. And he got him so hard. The dude actually made a video. I'm gonna show it to you guys. Hold on, I gotta find it. It cracks me up. But he got Monkey back when Monkey used to just like say everybody's name like without even like reading it to himself first. Let's see, Mike Coxmall. Let's see if I can find him. Oh, there he is. He's got one subscriber. Pull the full screen up here. And make sure you guys can hear the audio here. Monkey coming. Yeah, I remember watching this one. So these were from 2 and 3 months ago. I don't remember what this one is. That was the other. There was another guy that came in there. His name was Ice, ICE, and then it was like WALLOWCUM. You can. So here's the one I was talking about. Oh man. But yeah. Zishan, not to be rude, he's kind of annoying. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, here, let me show you one of the. I used to make some funny things. I mean, he's inspiring. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll show you why. I made this back in the day. Where is it? There it is. I made that solely for him. I was a little funny in the ISW room for a while. Boom, boom, boom. And it's so he literally, I think, memorized the script. When somebody joins or subscribes to the channel, he's like, "Welcome to my channel. Here's my 1 minute, my 5 minute, my 15 minute, my daily, and time in sales, level 2 time in sales, and here's my active trader." It just cracks me up. Like I said, I wish the guy the best. I really do. You can tell how bad he really wants it. Unfortunately, he's probably just never gonna get it. It's, he's a good guy, but he just apparently he doesn't want help is what it comes down to, and he does the same things every day. So, anyways, back to my issue at hand. Do you guys have any recommendations, ideas, thoughts about how to eliminate the problem that I brought up here? The only thing that I can think of is to just use kind of a multi approach, because my old approach to 112 was I would look at where the move started. So if we draw a line here at where this move started, down here at 1670, to where I was looking to get in, so like say 1830. So now we're talking about a dollar, we'll just say $1.50 move. What I would do there is I would hit the $1.50, which in this case actually happens to be the same, but I had, for that, I would do the math different. So let's see, calc. I would do it, in this case, it would be 50, or maybe it was $1. The move itself divided by the risk. Nope. 50 divided by $1.50. Yeah, so I guess it was about the same, because that's right. So it was 33 shares. Oh, that's what I was doing. But this was my starter share size, right? So I would be using 33, because the idea was if it moves $1.50 when I look to get in, my thought process is I'm going to... I like flung my mouse trying to catch the light. I guess I bumped my desk and knocked my light over there. Sorry about that. Bloopers 101. So the thought process is that I would get an entry, say right where I did, and then I would look to add, let's move the calculator for a second. I would look to add when it moved. So I'm looking for it to move 75 cents more to get my two adds. So I would look for like 40, 35 cents, like 38 cents, whatever you want to say it is. And then I would look to add, and then I would look to get my last and final add up from there. I would like choose a key area. But the problem with that is my share size was getting too big because I was basing everything off the range of the move instead of any kind of key area. So say we were coming up to this key area that was on the daily, which was what, at like 1920? Well, if I was basing it off of the range of the move, it puts my last add at say 1880, and then it goes through, stops me out, and then tops out at that key resistance area on the daily, and I look like an idiot, right? It's like, why didn't I just risk off of that key area? So that was kind of what got me away from that. And the other thing that got me away from that was, say the range of the move is this, right? And say I miss, like I just don't get in for some reason, and it goes up to 19. Well, now instead of $1.50, it goes up to $2. So in essence, now my share size would actually go down, right? Like say we went right up to 19, my share size would go down because the length of the move was bigger, right? So I'm gonna have to risk less. Like if we bring this over and we do 50 divided by 2, now my starting share size, according to this, would be $25. However, 25 shares, sorry. If I was using the other one, so 1920 was the risk area, but I'm using this, so only 25 cents, I get to start with 50 shares, right? Because I'm so close to that resistance area, and I'm looking to add and get to full size by the time we get to that resistance point. So I would be risking off of that. So that's where the two different ways of trying to find entry share size kind of conflict with one another. So I'm trying to figure out the best method to get into these stocks with the appropriate share size. And I don't feel like the way that I'm doing it now is wrong, because as you can tell, according to my stats, it's working out. The only problem is I've missed a couple trades because the resistance was too far away. So it was hard, actually, it wasn't this one. I forget which one it was. I think it was, maybe it was yesterday with SITX, I think, or SITC, whatever the stock was. But I pulled it up and say we were looking to get in here. Well, the resistance was like way up around like 21. So it was like curling up on the daily, and there was no real resistance for like another 4 points on like a $17 stock. So if I hit like 5 in this case, so it's telling me I would have to split 10 shares into 3 separate orders. So half of 10 is 5, half of 5 is 2.5, so 2 and then 3. I'm obviously not going to take 2 shares on something that's only moved 1.5 points, right? That would make absolutely 0 sense. But that's the flaw of this system, is sometimes it's not going to give the appropriate share size. So I'm really trying to figure out a way around this, and I still haven't. That's like the one kink in my strategy is the share size, the initial share size. Everyone has a different way of figuring it out. I actually felt like the breaking it up the way that I did before was actually good, but the only problem was I was never risking off certain areas, and I didn't like that because I would get stopped out right before those key areas, and it would bother me. So I decided to try to figure out something else. So I came up with, okay, let's just risk off of those areas. And that has been working, but what do I do when there's nowhere to risk off of? Like, what if it's at its all-time highs and it's making a run? Where do I risk off then? So that's what I need to figure out. Do you have to pay locate shares to short? Yes. If it's something that is not easy to borrow, if you see the S in the montage, like CC here, it's easy to borrow. If there's nothing there, then that means it's hard to borrow, and you would have to try to locate it. And even sometimes you can't always locate it. Miss the bulk of the move with bulk size. Not sure what you're referencing, Katie, but that is essentially I mean, I didn't miss the move. I just didn't get full size, and that's a whole different problem. Getting to full size, I don't think has anything to do with the entry size, which is what I'm talking about. I think getting to full size, especially on stocks that I kind of top or bottom tick, is the hard part, because that means I would have to get the full size as it's working in the direction I want it to go. And it's so hard to hit that button as it's going in your direction, because it's always in the back of your head emotionally that once you hit that button, you're going to get like a pullback and it's going to go high a day. Like that's what's in your head like all the time. At least that's what's in my head. So it's really hard for me to hit the button as it's on its way down. But you always have to keep in mind too that you did top ticket. So if you add down here, even if like say this was 25 shares, which it was, if I hit it for 75 shares, yeah, it's going to put the majority of your average closer to that, and it's going to weigh it down. But you still have a better average than where you're hitting the button. So if you don't get the drop and you know where your risk is, you're in a good spot. So like let's take this for instance, let's pull the calculator back up here. So if we take our exact entries here, let me pull that just so it doesn't disappear all the way. 1829 and 1799. So 1829 times 25, and then 1799 times 75. So plus 457.25, and then divide by 100. So is that right? Yeah. So our average would have been 18,065 with a 400 shares, and we covered at 1775. So minus 1775, we would have made $31.50. So that's if we would have got full size on this candle instead of where we did. That's how much more money we would have made. So we would have had 1806. The high was 1760 or 1838. So that was what I was getting at next. So 1838 minus 18,065. That is very freaky. So we would have been risking a little bit more than 1-to-1 there on what we ended up taking versus what we were risking, especially if we wanted to give it a little bit of room, because we obviously don't want to, get the little bit of a fake out. But when we got the drop like this, we're obviously not worried. We're talking about like if we would have got in and it would have shot right back up, not after it got a big drop all the way down through VWAP. Once it gets to drop all the way down through VWAP and comes back up, the odds are you're going to get some kind of continuation. So that would be kind of silly not to either take some profits there, but once it starts doing this little bit of an ascending triangle as well, you pretty much are good as done at that point, at least for the time being. So there's really no point in giving some leeway on that, especially because, the 1850 area was there. So you could almost guarantee that unless you were willing to put it up over 1850, you were going to get hit. And as you can see, it did just squeeze right up to there. I mean, I feel like I've seen this hundreds of times. So to me, if I for some reason didn't take profits here, I would have definitely been looking to stop out pretty much right over high a day in this instance. But if it wanted to like shoot back up, like right after we took our entry here and didn't completely give us a flush, like it was just consolidating here and then tried to come back up, that's where you would try to give it a little bit of leeway, maybe even up over 1850. So you'd be risking about that $50 total there, because 1806 you'd be looking for right over 1850, and if it wanted to get through, then that just sucks. But you would have still been pretty extended at that point, hoping that would be a key area for it to stop. And if it didn't, then oh well, you stop out for your loss of $50 and you're done with it. So not gonna lie, me farted so bad I had to open my whole window because my room smelled like chorizo. Did we ever go over the best single spot where your entries have the best win rate? What do you mean, Vincenzo? I'm a little confused by that. I feel playing the front side of things, it's it's a little hard to do that. Like, how can you really determine where the best entry spot is, or which entry even has the best win rate? I can kind of see where you're going, but at the same time, I don't quite understand how we could figure something like that out. I'm all ears. Trust me. Like I said, I love for these to be like community engagements. While I wait for your answer, I'm going to go get my other Coke that I got. I also know that I'm not supposed to be eating this late, but just for Vincenzo. Oh, I see, KD. You were saying I missed the ball. I got you. Yeah, I was definitely short. I love pepperonis. So good. I never short front side strength or gap and go. Well, everybody has their ways to trade. That's the beauty of it. The beauty of the market. Sorry if I'm chewing in your ear. I know my wife tells me I'm a loud chewer, so. Again, if anybody has any questions or comments while we're sitting here talking about this, feel free to jump in. I really don't have anything else to talk about while you guys are here. Let me give you your weekend. Sorry, that was probably loud. Let me give you your weekend inspiration. Ooh. This is what Elon Musk does on a daily basis. Create what you wish existed. I gotta admit, that's a pretty good one. Am I eating just pepperonis? What world do you live in, Zishan, that you don't just eat pepperonis? Ryan D says, what would full size be for you? Well, it depends on the ticker and the price action and the price movement and where the resistance is that I'm trading off of. So like here on CC, basically you just take my first entry size or entry shares. So 25 on this one. So my full share size would be 100. So 25, because I'm doing 112. So the first one's 25, second one's 25, and the last ad would be 50. So that would put me at 100. I've been trading since August of 2018. Let me show you my my overall awesomeness. $20 stock, say a home run trade. Well, I don't really make home run trades, so. Boyd, I'm only assuming that you were on a demo account. That's pretty hard to trade 647,000 shares in one day. But here's my overall trading journey as of right now. You can see lots of ups and downs. But yeah, August 21st of 2018 was my first day. And I lost I lost quite a bit that first day. It was like $1,200. It was a sad day. It was my first day. $5,000 account. Very first day I lost. It was like $1,300, something like that. But again, Ryan, it doesn't matter that it's a $20 stock. And this is kind of something I get into with a lot of different people. Just because it's a $20 stock, you can have a $20 stock and you can have a $100 stock. That $100 stock might have a trading range for the full day of 1 point. That $20 stock might have a $5 range, like a 5-point range. Like, you can't just say, what would your full size be on a $20 stock? Well, how's it moving? What's the price action look like? What's its, like, what's the high? What's the low of the day? Like, what kind of trend are we in? Like, there's so many different questions to answer. You like, just coming into it with a generic question like, what's max size look for you? What I can tell you is I'm only risking $50 per trade right now at the moment. That I can tell you. So other than that, I don't really have an answer for you. It really depends. Each trade is different. It's not like I'm going into every trade with the same share size, because if you're doing that, then there's a lot to be learned. You should not be just using the same share size every single trade, regardless of everything else. And I used to do that. That was actually what I used to do back here. I used to take 1,000 shares like a complete idiot. That's why the swings were so big. And I actually toned it down to, it was like right in here after that big win. I was like, okay, this is pretty swingy. I'm going to tone it down to 500 shares. And I traded 500, 500, 500, 500, and then I ran into OCX because, as you can see, I went on a little bit of a downswing. Started to climb back up, and then I ran into OCX with 500 shares. Added once, and then I got stuck in a halt. There's more to the story, but yeah, I ended up getting stuck in a halt. I pretty much blew up my account because I was down like $3,700 at one point. And luckily, I only got margin called for like 100 and it was like 300. Here, I'll just show you. I don't want to, but we don't hide things on this channel. So OCX overall was a negative $1,400 trade, like after commissions and everything, margin call, the fees they charge you for overnight, stuff like that. But so they margin called me for 291 shares on that same day. We got in at 351, added at 416, and they margin called me for 291 shares at $5.78. But I don't think I have the chart, but on that day it actually got up to much higher than that. I want to say it was like $7. It was like almost $7. If it would have went through whatever that key area was, my account was blown. But luckily it rejected it twice. I was literally just a deer in headlights. I was just watching my account just go down the drain. And thankfully, towards the end of the day, it had a big sell-off. It wasn't like a multi-day runner. It actually just ran that day and started to come back down. And I only got margin call for 291 shares. And as you can see through I think, yeah, it was 2 days later, I got rid of another 250 as it came down. Kept going down. I still had like an odd number of shares, so I took 259 off at 461. And then almost a week later, God dang it. My wife is going to kill me. I know that's waking the kids up. My talking wakes the kids up. I keep bumping the table with my chair. I keep trying to catch it, but I'm not apparently quick enough. But yeah, I ended up taking the last 200 at the same price almost a week later. So yeah, that was a tough one. And that's why you don't trade the same share size every trade, just because it doesn't work that way. You're gonna get bit in the butt. It's always hard to talk about OCX. Blew up first Robinhood account by taking the same share, like you said. Best to use max loss to determine size. Exactly. James McDermott says, I know you said you aren't sizing up yet while working out the strategy, but how would you cope with larger size eventually? I struggle keeping emotions in check. If the emotions are still bothering you, it means that you don't have your strategy down 100%. Like it's not completely mastered. If you are still having problems with your emotions while in a trade, then there's something within your strategy that is leaving doubt. If you have your strategy mastered, you should know exactly what you can win and lose any given trade. So if you're not okay with that, your emotions are still getting heightened as that's happening, then you need to go back down in size until you're to that point where, say, I'm trading $50 a share or $50 a trade, like that's my max risk. When I go to up it to 100, if I feel like for some reason I'm still getting too emotional and I'm not trading the exact same way I was when I was only risking 50, I need to go back down to 50 or maybe cut it in half to like 75. But you need to get it to the point each time when you scale up that it should not matter. Like your system is your system regardless of the share size. That's how it should be. I've been using a hotkey that automatically calculates share size based off a set risk. Really, really helpful. That's kind of what I'm doing in a way. That's kind of like I'm looking at risk and then I showed you guys that earlier. So, but yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. Let me get this back. February 8th. There we go. You just double click the chart where your stop is, hit the hotkey, and boom, calculate share size. Yeah, Constantine actually does something very similar to that, Zlisk. Not saying overtrade, but you have tried more than one setup, and I know I trade anywhere from 30 to 130 tickets a day and flip my bias. I'm trying to learn more about the tax side now. What about the tax side? Worry about winning. Taxes are just part of winning. That's a Brian actually says it all the time. He's like, don't worry about taxes. Let your CPA worry about taxes. And he always says, give your CPA something to worry about. Yeah, Zlisk, I don't know if you were here earlier, but that was basically what we were doing. Let me pull this back up. But it was kind of the same thing. So on the daily, as you can see right here, there was some resistance around that 19. I mean, let's see. We can probably look at what the exact one was, like 1915. Of course, there we go. So when I went to get in around 1829, it was about 75 cents. I click the button, it gives me 60 shares. That's telling me that if I get in right then and there, because this hotkey is going off of the current price. Like if we, or actually, no, it's not. These are the ones that go off the current price. So I'm calculating that we got 75 cents until we get to that key resistance area. So if I were to take 60 shares from that current point and we go up 75 cents to that resistance area, I would hit my $50, right? That's the idea. But if I take that 60 shares and I split it into my 112 system, it's almost impossible, literally impossible, to hit $50 by that resistance area. It actually gives me a little bit of leeway. So I can still risk $50 and give the trade some room to breathe if I have to, always knowing that I'm never risking more than that $50 per trade. And to me is that I'm very comfortable with that. But now I need to start working on getting max size. That's my current issue. Yeah, CPA is your buddy. I will tell you right now, the CPA that I used this year, he started sending me like the revised copies of my taxes and stuff, and he was like asking me questions that I know for a fact that you don't answer on TurboTax and stuff like that. And he definitely not only paid for himself, but he definitely like found some money in there that I otherwise would have never known was even available. So find a CPA that specializes in day trading, just in trading in general, and you can probably get some more money back than you think. What do you think the advantages are trading stocks rather than futures? I think the only real advantage is the volume. I think you get more volume in equities. I think they're just more popular. I think just the moves are more clean, and they're more often. Like you get more of the same moves over and over again in equities, where I believe with futures, you're kind of sitting around waiting just for like one move every once in a while, where at the first hour and a half in the equities market, you get several opportunities, where with futures you might only get like one. What's up? Just got out of work. How long have you been on for? I started at 10:30, so coming up on an hour and a half. CPA, yeah, I already read that. CPA is your buddy. Set hard stops. -2% is my max loss. Can always re-enter the trade. I always recommend, especially if you're new, never risk more than 1% of your account. So if you're at $5,000, you should never risk more than $50. If you're at $10,000, you should never risk more than $100. And I like to say that on the day, but I mean, even if you just do it per trade, it's not bad, because a lot of people do risk 2-3% per trade. But I highly recommend that if you are just starting, don't do that. Risk no more than 1% per trade. Because learning how to trade is risk management. If you need risk management, you need to protect your capital, because you are going to lose. So until you learn how to lose and lose properly, that's really the key to learn how to day trade, to be completely honest. Nice. I like the fact you've been trading based on R's. Yeah, I've found it much easier to trade based on R's, to be completely honest. I feel like I always did in the past, just maybe not as often. Like maybe I just kind of like talked about it differently. Yeah, but small capital gains are a little different, and was curious what you could write off if you go full time. Well, yeah, it's a little different for me because I don't have a full-time job, or even a part-time job for that matter. I stay at home with the kids. So it's a little easier for me to apply for trader tax status, because I do trade pretty much every day, multiple times a day for the most part. And so there's a lot of things that I can write off, because this technically is my full-time job, whether it be writing off like my office space, like even though it's in my living room. One of the questions that my CPA asked me was, what's the square footage of your room that is considered your office? What are all the things, like everything that I bought for trading, like the monitors, everything I bought for the YouTube channel, the microphone, the camera, the lighting, just like the mic stand, my keyboard. Well, I didn't buy a keyboard, but I want to. The new mouse pad that I bought, just like the headphone holder, the tripods for the lighting when I use those, just like everything, because I can apply for TTS, and the YouTube channel is technically considered part of the business aspect of it. You can write all that off. So there is that advantage, but you can write off the internet. You can write off part of your electricity bill. There's all kinds of different things that you can write off if you can apply for that trader tax status. So, hey, what's the tax on profits for day trading? Well, I wish I knew. I haven't had a year yet. This was my second time filing taxes with trades stuff involved, and I haven't made any profits yet. So in fact, it's actually helped, because writing that off, not helped, obviously. You'd obviously rather make money and have it taxed, but my wife's income that she makes, since I lost money, you could actually apply that to her to bring down the overall deductions. I don't have a full-time job or part-time. Welcome to the club. Well, there you go. So when you apply, when you do your taxes, you could apply for TTS depending on how much you trade. A little harder with smaller accounts. Very true. That beanie. What about it? You don't like it? I don't even remember where I got it. I don't even know what brand it is. I'm not going to take it off to see. My hair is probably a mess. So let's say day trading takes off and you hit $1 million and want to buy a car like a 60K and can write that off. No, that would not be the case. It has to be something that you're actually using to trade or using for the business. I know, like if I were to buy a car and drive around, like say I had a chat room or courses to sell, and on that car I like had a vinyl put on it, promoting that, that would be different. Like you could buy that car technically for your business. Oh, tax write off on the beanie. Gotcha. Well, yeah, headphones were another one. Like I said, the mic stand, pretty much anything that again, all the money that you guys have donated to me, how little or how big, which Jonathan, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, has been the top donator. He's awesome. It's all been put back into the channel. The Stream Deck, that's another one. Tom took care of that one for me. Back when I had like little goals, Tom just straight up was like, here you go, get your Stream Deck. And it's been awesome. Being able to just feel my way around the buttons and like switch between screens as I'm streaming instead of having to pull up my streaming software and like click each individual button. That thing has been amazing. So I actually, every once in a while, just randomly thank Tom because I can't imagine doing the live streams in the morning without that thing at this point. But again, if I really wanted to, I got this thing from Five Below. Like you can write it off because I use it for this. Like anything that you use, you can technically write off. Now keep in mind, there is like depreciation value. You can't write off your whole internet bill. You can't write off your whole electricity bill. It's only like portions. So basically, you would take the amount of hours that you're trading, and then you take a percentage of that because obviously you're not 100% of the electricity being charged throughout the day. Like there's lights on in other rooms, you know, the AC or heaters running. There's all kinds of different things. The gains add up quickly. 3% a day is 15% weekly. Adds quick. Learn on small account just in case you blow it up. Learn to lose before you learn to win. KD could not be more correct with that. I totally agree. It's so true, and that's where I'm at. I don't claim to be any kind of a professional trader or anything like that. I'm just a guy learning my way, and I think a lot of you understand that by now. But I think what draws a lot of you to me is that I'm very truthful about everything and transparent about everything. Everything that goes on, you know what happens. I'm not hiding anything from you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. And it's that simple, right? You come to my channel knowing that what you're going to hear is the truth. And I love the engagement with you guys because I get to learn from you guys. You guys know stuff that I don't know, and I know stuff that you guys don't know. So we're a community, right? That's the whole point of this. Speaking of which, real quick, I'm going to put the Discord in the chat. So if you're not in there, jump in there. That's a place to talk on the off hours, and we obviously have a nice group of people that are in there during the market hours as well. Just a place to hang out, talk market, all that good stuff. That it just never ends in there. As long as if you want to talk, post something, and I guarantee you somebody will respond. Usually me. Tom's in there a lot. Devin's in there a lot. Thomas is in there a lot. There's a bunch of us that are always in there. If you have an off-site office and commute, you can write off services, fuel, mileage, write everything off, toilet paper, water, anything you use. I like your style. But it's true. You can. That's why I said get a CPA that knows what he's doing. And if you guys don't mind spending upwards of around $700-800, let me know. I can direct you to the guy that I used, and he's awesome. Very easy to work with. Knows one of the main reasons I talked to him was actually through a recommendation from another trader. And as of March of last year, I've been asking this guy questions, and he didn't know I was going to use the services. I never told him, hey, if you answer these questions, I'll use you as my CPA, blah, blah, blah. He just openly answered my questions from March until literally until the time it came to do taxes. I had like questions about mark to market, TTS, trader tax status, just everything. I would just like, as I was figuring things out, like you guys are asking me these questions, I would ask him those questions, and he would send me articles. He would give me just the answer. He would just constantly respond, and it was always like same day or the next day. And the guy was just awesome. No other way to put it. You guys know how I get. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell you on him. I just get excited about things that I believe in. Like with the Intensity Stockwatch scanners, just using CMEG, if you don't have 25 grand to open a US account and you want to get around the PDT rule, like I think CMEG's the best tool for that. ISW, by far, hands down, the best scanners, blows trade ideas out of the water. Trade ideas, I'm not going to get into it. If you want to ask me later why I think that, like separately off the stream, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and bash trade ideas, but I'll just tell you right now, ISW always gives you the best possible alerts real time as they're happening, like at all times. Like it gives you the list. There's a constantly updated list in real time that is telling you, hey, this is the best move happening right now. Trade ideas, it can't do that. It doesn't do that. So until they can, ISW will always be far superior. And again, I just love talking about them. But I am also affiliated with them, so I can get you guys a discount, and that's always down in the description below. I'm never here to sell you guys. I'm just here to offer you the same tools that I'm using because I believe in those tools. So I always try to tell everyone that. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to just tell you whatever you want to know. And if I can't tell you, I'm going to find a way to beat around the bush to tell you anyway, just without directly telling you. I know that's always been a thing in the past. I'm going to make Valentine's Day dessert. Have a good long weekend, everyone. It's not Valentine's Day for me anymore. I actually went to lunch with my wife for Valentine's Day. We ate salad. It was like the first carbs I've had really in a while was what was in the salad. I actually, for the first time today, for dinner, I checked my ketones, and it was the first time that I was actually on like the lower side of being in ketosis. So I was like, I better cut the carbs out. See Meg down. CMEG does close like their data down at 12 midnight for anybody that's wondering, as somebody just asked in the channel. Sorry, I see that Craig joined the Discord. I was giving him the wave. I don't even know if I think CMEG. Yeah, you can get back on. Like their connection comes back up to the server, but it just doesn't have the prices and stuff available. Yeah, you can write up to $3 grand in losses unless you're mark to market. And then if you're mark to market, you can actually write off unlimited losses. But the losses, like if you had 6,000 in losses this year, you could take the 3,000 and then carry the 3,000 over to next year, assuming that you become a winning trader. But if you start getting up into like the 20s and like $50,000 and you can only claim 3,000 at a time, that all does go forward, but at the same time, that's going to take you forever to claim that. So always keep that in mind. You can have Lily's chocolate bars and chips on keto. Okay, you just got me interested in looking up what Lily's chocolate is. Lily's chocolate. They have them at Wegmans. Interesting. Let's see. Products. Is it like really dark chocolate? Because I'm not a dark chocolate person. There we go. Milk chocolate style. Creamy milk chocolate. Oh, because it's stevia sweetened. Gotcha. Let's take a look at, do they have the nutrition? Yep, there it is. Oh, dude, no. You can't have these. Oh, a lot of it is fiber. What's the ingredients? Cocoa butter, erythritol. So yeah, that's what I actually use that stuff. Where's all the carbs coming from? I guess just from the cocoa. I thought cocoa didn't have that much in it. So it's got seven net grams, 7 grams of net carbs per serving, but there's 3 servings per bar. So it would be 21 grams of carbs in the full bar. I guess that's not too bad, but that's kind of a lot. How big is the bar? It's a 3-ounce bar? Ugh, that's not that big. Stevia mixed with erythritol, yeah. The bars are huge. It's 3 ounces? I thought 3 ounces isn't that big. She had a picture of somebody holding one. Now I kind of want... I don't have a Wegmans really close by either. It kind of sucks. Ketosis is legit. Lost 75 pounds in 3.5 months. Nice, man. Yeah, I need to lose... What is that? 30. Yeah, I want to lose 60 pounds total. I want to get back down to 175. I started at 235. I was 226. I was like 225 and a half yesterday morning. I meant to check this morning knowing I was going to eat a little bit more today. Wanted to see if I got down 10 pounds, but... Oh, gotcha. Depends on the bar. All right, let's check a different bar. I would assume the darker the chocolate, the better, but I don't like... Like, I would assume like a salted almond has to just be worse. Yeah, that's worse. No, it's actually better as far as the net carbs go. Oh, no, it's 7. Never mind. Same thing. Let's check the dark chocolate. I'm not going extra dark. I can't do that. Let's just do the original dark chocolate. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that much better. It's still 6 grams net. Let's see what the they have peanut butter cups. Reese's are literally I'm pretty sure I've gained at least 50 pounds in my life from eating Reese's peanut butter cups. Let's see. Maybe I'll just try making my own chocolate. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's still 9 grams per. It says 3 servings per package, but it's so. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it says 3 servings per package, but there's only 2 pieces in the package, but that's not true. There's actually 6. All right, I'm just gonna stop looking at this because it's making me hungry. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I guess we could just stay life related, talk about the stock market. I'm past 12 o'clock, so I'm past my point of really caring what we talk about. Got everything out of the way, I think. Have you heard of the Chocolate Rain song? Yeah. Chocolate Rain. The really deep voice. If you guys weren't here earlier, by the way, I went over how you can get 2 free stocks on Webull. I'm not gonna go back into it. If you want to ask me some questions, find me in the Discord, but I will leave you the link. It's free money. All you gotta do is sign up or make an account. You get 1 free stock just for literally making an account. And then if you deposit, it says any amount of money on the page, you get a 2nd free stock. And then you can literally, without ever making a trade, minus just selling the stocks they give you. And then I do believe it says you have to wait 30 days after you sell the stock for it to, I guess that's just part of the promotion. And then you can cash it out. It's literally free money. Any thoughts on space? SPCE? Yeah, it's been, I'm gonna, man, it even moved after hours. I'm going to show you 2 different charts, basically 2 different dailies here. So look at the daily here on SPCE, right? We'll zoom in a little bit. Look at this daily, and then look at this daily. Do you notice something? Granted, this one had a little bit of a doji candle when it really moved up, but let's flip-flop between the 2. Notice anything? See what I'm going for? What I'm getting at is this thing is super extended. And look, it's already putting in that same move Tesla did. It had the big move up here, and then the big gap up, and then it tried to keep running. Literally look at what SPC is doing. Had the big move up, it's gapping up, and we're gonna probably get like the big push, more of a short squeeze coming again. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I'm not saying it's going to do exactly what Tesla did. All I'm saying is it's very extended. And I would say that if you have shorts available, jumping in on the backside of this thing is probably a winner. Again, that's my opinion. do not make that trade and say that I told you to take that trade. That's like childhood for me that came out in 07. What is? Oh, Chocolate Rain. Can't wait to get puts on. Have you heard of Virgin Galactic Company? It's dope. No, I have not. Same chart looks good. It's like tourism for space. Huh. How can they have tourism for space if we're not all like just normally going into space at the moment? They sold 600 tickets at $250,000. Who are you talking about? Oh, gotcha. For that company, the Virgin Galactic Company, they're selling tickets to tour space. Oh, you know what? I did hear about that on the radio because I remember hearing them talking about the tickets. People paying all that money just to go up into space. I mean, it would be pretty damn cool. It's expensive. Super expensive. I wouldn't do it. Not yet. I would not be a guinea pig. I would not. I don't know how many people they can send up on one rocket. I mean, obviously it's got to be a rocket, right? You're literally going up in a rocket. A freaking rocket. No thank you. Until it's like normalized and obviously a lot cheaper, you would never see me doing that. That would be something really cool to do in my lifetime, to go up into space. But I'm not going to be one of the first people to do it. No thank you. No. Just out of curiosity, what does that put us at? Just 150 mil. The worst part, but you have to remember too, I wonder how much it costs them to run just one of the rockets. So like if it's costing them over 100 grand to send one up, and you can only fit like say 3 or 4 people on one, imagine the liability that comes along with it, like the insurance, all the people that you have to pay. Like I'm just saying, there's a lot that probably goes into that on the back end. It's not just, it costs us parts, people to put it together, the labor for that, and then like the fuel, and like the astronaut or whatever they pay to fly the thing. It's that stuff, that's scary. They're attached to a plane and dropped. Then rockets kick in. I'll have to like go YouTube this later. You have me interested, but it's definitely not something I'd be interested in doing. You guys having a conversation here in the Discord? I didn't even realize it. Now I can sleep at ease. You can use Think or Swim 24/7. Yeah, you can. What's up with all these levels? I want level 69. The more you engage, the higher the level you get. Silly butts. It's funny. That's what I call my kids. I'm calling you guys what I call my kids. You silly butts. It's not outer space. They are still in inner space. Well, that's a ripoff. Did you see the thing Elon Musk did? He built a tunnel. He's talking about the way to get rid of traffic for good is to build tunnels. And he actually just said, screw it, and built one. It's like a mile long from his like headquarters to some like back parking lot or something. It's like the idea behind it is like all Teslas, as traffic starts to become too much, if everyone owned a Tesla, I guess traffic wouldn't really be that bad because traffic would never probably come to a dead stop because of idiots that don't know how to merge and speed up and hit the brakes properly. Yeah, I know it's old news, but some people may not have heard it. It costs $10,000 to put just 1 pound in space orbit. That's a big number. Can I have $10,000 per pound that I weigh? When is your wife coming on stream? I can make her come on stream right now. All I gotta do is load up Facebook. Let's see. I hit the wrong button there. What am I hitting? It's like not loading. Oh. Why won't it load? View. There we go. There you go. That was actually an old picture of her. Sorry, I just saw a picture of my son when he was a wee little baby. I do miss that. I really do. Like when they were like really small. I hated taking care of them when they were really small, but it's hard not to. Where the heck are my photos on here? Facebook is so stupid now. I literally can't even find like where my pictures are. I know it's not down there. What the? They have some kind of new. What did they do? How is it that hard? I see the friends. There it is. It's like a little button. What is that? Let's see. Albums. I don't know if I have. I don't really have many. I guess I could have just went to her. I could have just went to her Facebook. It would have been a lot easier. I was trying to find ones of like just her. But a lot of the ones of her are of both of us. I wonder if the Christmas one was a lot of the a lot of the more recent ones are ones when she was pregnant. Let me just try going to hers. It might be easier. I can't even search. Amanda. There we go. Photos. Pregnant. Here was one when we went to San Francisco. This was actually, you would never guess it by the background. I know the light is like killing me here. That's actually at Alcatraz. It was like one of the walls. It got infested with those little flowers. It was actually Gay Pride Week when we were there. Now you know the real reason that we went to San Francisco. This was us in front of the Full House, like where they did the intro thing. I guess I don't know. Like that's the I don't know. I forget what they call them. She was like obsessed with them. What the heck? It like scrolled back. Oh yeah, it's when we were up in the hot air balloon. This will be the last one I'll show you guys. I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and look at pictures of me and my wifeys. Yeah, that was in wine country, Napa Valley. We did hot air balloons. That was actually really cool. We actually got to go like a lot longer than the other ones because he like missed his landing, so we had to like go all the way to the next site, which was like a half an hour more longer in the balloon itself. It's pretty cool. Whoops. Oh, okay, there we go. Alrighty. They did steal it. I think he's a secret contributor. Well, I mean, Elon has come out and said that he put his plans like for the batteries that he uses in his Teslas and made it like public knowledge to these other companies. Like he said, he wants the world to evolve quicker. Like he's not really trying to like hold this stuff hostage to try to, create a monopoly or whatever. Like he wants the better for the world. So he wants the world to be in a better place. I guess the better way to say it. The most hard part about relationship is keeping your wife happy, not easy. So true. The Full House is up for sale, by the way. Yeah. We actually went to the actual house. Like I would not want to buy that house. It would literally be like buying something to put in your collection because you can't live there. People literally are stopping there every day to take pictures in front of it. When we were there, it was like you had to wait in line just to take a picture in front of that house. It was crazy. All right, I'm going to knock out. Good night, everyone. Night, Nicholas. Ugh. So do we have anything else to talk about? So to answer your question on SPCE, I showed you what I think is going to happen without actually saying it. So I did good there. But if we don't have anything else to talk about, I'm probably going to get out of here. Usually get out of here around 12, but like I said, I'm not going to leave if we're actually talking about stuff. I enjoy talking to you guys. I very do. Don't forget, do not show up Monday looking to trade. You'll be very disappointed. It is President's Day, Washington's birthday, whatever you want to call it. But the markets are closed. My wife gets so mad. When I used to work for the government, we would get all of these like random holidays off. And they, like most private businesses, don't get those days off. It's kind of funny. He's pushing 5G and inexpensive internet worldwide. Yeah, that's what I said. Dude, Elon is an awesome dude. I don't care what anybody says. People give him flack all the time, and I think he is the shit. Night, man. I'm not leaving yet. I'm giving you guys an opportunity. I'll give you 3 minutes. I'll give you till 12:30. See if we can come up with anything interesting to talk about. If not, I am going to get out of here. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Looks like pretty much all of you hit the like button. If you didn't, hit it on the way out. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. But I'm assuming most of you are subscribed. If you're not, go check out my channel. I'm not even going to just tell you to subscribe. Go check out the channel. If you like what you see, then you can hit subscribe. But we are growing. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at that real quick as a little bit of a sign off. We are at 1,478 subscribers. You guys are nuts. It just constantly goes up. It's crazy. You guys are awesome. I remember it was a little over 2 months ago, right before the new year. We're fighting to get to 1,000. I made it like my mission to get to 1,000 subscribers because we were so close. We were at like 920, I think, at the start of December, and we were getting like halfway through and we were at like 940, and I was like, come on guys. Like I started pushing because I really thought towards the end of December, like with Christmas and New Year's coming up, like people weren't really going to be on here as much. So I was like, oh man, we're not going to get to 1,000. And it was the Friday night live stream right before the New Year's that we hit 1,000. We actually hit it live on the stream. It was pretty awesome. And it was a nice magical moment. It felt good. But it took me a year, almost a year. Well, it was actually like 10, 11 months to get 1,000 subscribers. And here in just a little over 2 months, we're already halfway almost to 2,000 subscribers. That's just, it's mind blowing. You guys are awesome. Obviously you guys, I guess, like what you're seeing. So that's always a plus. It makes me realize that I'm doing something right. And I'm always trying. I think you guys can see my passion. I love the market. It's amazing. I wanna beat this thing. I want to learn how to beat it, and I want to learn how to beat it consistently. You also know that I'm not here to make money off you guys. I'm here to make my money from the market. But if you are going long and I'm going short, then yeah, I guess I am trying to make money off you. But yeah, like Katie said, don't like weekends anymore thanks to stocks. It's so true. It's like I can't say it this time, but like who likes waking up on Monday mornings? Like they're happy to wake up on Monday mornings. It's like day traders. But if you haven't went and watched my video from today, go watch it. Hit the like button. I don't know. This is like I guess everyone kind of checked out for the weekend. It's like one of the lower viewed videos recently. You can tell down a bunch of percentages on all of them. Usually I'm around 100 this late in the evening. Yeah, Katie saying you're legit. I think that's kind of what draws a lot of people to me is they know that they can come to my channel and they're going to get the truth, right? You know everything you're watching is real. There's nothing being hid here on volatility trading. It's I was actually spoiled. I may have traded very poorly, like trading 1,000 shares, 500 shares, whatever it was back when I first started. But it spoiled me to know that I could literally make what I was making in a day in a half hour. Like I was doing it for a while, like for like about a month. That was that big upswing at the beginning you saw. And it was just nuts. Like you're telling me that I can make what I was making in a full day of work, 8 hours a day, plus driving there, driving back, like all that. You can make that in like a half hour. Sometimes you can make it in like 10 minutes. Sometimes you can make it in 2 minutes, depending on how the stock's moving. That blew me away. It absolutely blew me away. And I don't know what to do with myself. There's no way I would ever want to go back to a real job. I'm going to figure this out. It's just a matter of time, right? Putting in the work. And that's the other thing I tell everybody. This is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with. It's no different than starting a new job. When you start a new job that you've never done before, you are not going to just go in and be a master at whatever it is that you're starting that day at a new job. You're not even going to be a master within the first week, the first month, probably not even the first year, right? You're going to be learning from the beginning, from the basics, all the way up to the more advanced skill sets. And it's going to take time, right? Time is what makes you better. Unfortunately, at a regular job, you still get paid as you learn all that stuff. But if you can even just break even in the market while you're learning all of this stuff, that's considered a plus. I've heard it and I believe it because now I'm saying it, but you hear it all the time from professional traders. Stay afloat, risk management, learn, time in the market, watch, study, backtest, all of these things. Put in the time, put in the effort. You guys see me, I am doing this stuff nonstop. Any bit of free time I get, I'll play games like Rocket League here and there, but I only play like 3, 5-ish games. That's like a half hour to an hour of my time every once in a while. Any other free time that I have, I'm doing something along this, that has something to do with the market, whether it's just reading a book, not reading a book, listening to a book, watching YouTube videos, backtesting strategies, going through my journal and figuring out how I can improve on something. It's always working. Work hard and you will get the reward in the end as long as you can last. You have to be able to last, and that's where the risk management comes in. And there's my son, so I'm definitely getting off now because I'm probably going to get yelled at for talking too loud or something. So if I'm correct, you're selling stocks parabolically, breaking up out of their average range. Then what's the average number, the multiple of that range where they tend to fall back? Couldn't that number be your sweet spot to enter full size rather than using the betting system 112 ? You should make a snippet of what you just said. I actually did that last week. I made a separate video for a specific part that I talked about. Maybe I'll go back and listen to it again and see if it was worth it. To answer you, Vincenzo, let me read this again. Breaking up their average range. I wish I could agree with you on this, Vincenzo, because I see where you're going with it. But it's really hard to because every stock can be so different, right? The average range of one stock could be completely different than the next. Like I see where you're going with it. But that's kind of the whole point of the ISW scanners is you pull up the ISW scanners and it will give you the number, like it'll tell you when it's really extended, like past, like, because 20 is the number we shoot for. So when it hits an I3 of 20 on the intensity scanner, that's saying, hey, we're extended, pull up the chart, look at me. If it keeps going, you can get up into like 30, 40, you can start getting up into those ranges. And that's when you're like, okay, this thing is like moving really fast. And what do I always say? The stronger the move, the weaker the trend. So it's really hard to gauge it, like you're saying, like kind of like what you're implying that you can, because every stock can be different. Like the range can be different. On a $10 stock that's moving 20 cents, and then you could have a $5 stock that's moving a whole point at a time. Like it's kind of hard because the percentages to give you that average true range are always going to be different based on different factors, including float, including price, including volume. Like it's all going to be different every single ticker. So it's really hard, I think, to find that number that you're looking for. That's kind of the best way I think I can put it. At least that's kind of what I'm getting from what you're asking. And I feel like, and that's kind of the whole point of the 112 is you're trying to basically do that, right? You're trying to find the top of the stock. But if you don't, you're giving yourself some wiggle room with the 112 system, right? So that's where the 112 actually comes in and is there to help you. It's a ratio that would adapt. But yeah, what if the ratio on one ticker, it's a little bit high and say you missed a trade, but then say the ratio on the next one was really early and you end up getting stopped out. Or like say it's early a bunch of times, you end up getting stopped out, and et cetera, et cetera. You're not really giving yourself that leeway. I also think that we may be thinking of two different things. I don't know. I feel like this is something that we should have a conversation via like email or Discord. I wish you would get on Discord. It'd be so much easier to talk to you. It's like you refuse to get on Discord. But I can't make you. It's something good to talk about, but I would rather know if we were talking about the same thing, which I don't think that we are. Maybe you can take the time to email me, maybe use an example, and we can go through it. Because I'm not going to sit here and start this conversation now, because I feel like that could probably be a whole video in itself. So I don't want to. I'm a little tired, and I have to wake up and go to the science center tomorrow. So I don't want to. I don't want to get into something that's going to keep me here for another hour. But seriously, if you don't mind, like find an example or draw an example, make an example of what you're talking about, and I would love to know what you're talking about. Do you plan to teach your kid about stocks? 100%. I already started teaching him. He's about to turn 4. I already started teaching him about like financials as much as I can. I actually just bought a new like play money set so that I can start teaching him like about money because that's one thing that I feel the education system does not teach. It just doesn't teach you about the real things. It doesn't teach you about credit. It doesn't teach you about debt. It doesn't teach you about, the real things in life. But yeah, I do plan to, as long as I mean, granted, look, they're 4 and they're about to be 4 and the other one just turned 2. I would hope by the time they're 16, like in high school, that I have a pretty good grasp on this and I'm making some decent money. If that is the case and I'm still doing it then and everything's going according to what I have planned, like the business plan in my head, I would hopefully be interested in what I'm doing. And hopefully by that time, they'll already be interested anyway. And they'll start to like really learn the basics, hopefully around that age, so that, come graduating high school, if they want to go to college, if college is even still a thing then, they can if they want to. But I would hope the grand scheme of things, they would be interested in doing something like this because there's nothing else out there like this. I mean, where can you have such? I mean, you are the casino, like, right? You're giving As long as you're disciplined, you're giving yourself the edge that a casino has. It's kind of crazy. It's so crazy. Monopoly is a good learning tool for kids. There's a game called The Rat Race, by, is it Ramsey? No, who's the other guy? Maybe it's not called The Rat Race. Cash Flow. It's the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, which is another good book. It's more about like real estate type stuff, but it's a good book. And the game Cash Flow is pretty cool. It teaches you that to get out of the rat race, you have to learn how to invest, basically. And it's a pretty good way to show you that like people who waste money on fancy dinners, on cars, boats, and stuff, they're all doodads. And I used to, for a long time, I used to call everything a doodad, because say I wanted to go just buy something random for myself, and it was something that I just wanted in the time, like a VR headset. Like, that's a doodad. It's something I don't need, but I want it, and I just spent $400 on it that I didn't need to. I could have saved that $400, invested it in an index fund back when I bought that VR headset, and it would probably be more than $1,000 right now. Way more, probably way more, right? It's a lot, and that's the whole point of his book and the game itself, is to show you that if you stop buying doodads and you invest that money, you'll get a bigger return. And it's so funny how all these like different gurus in different areas of expertise, you can kind of start piecing all their stuff together. You can take the best parts of each. What's the other guy? Not Graham. Who's the big financial guru guy that's always showing off his jets and his cars? And Grant Cardone. He had a very good quote that I'll never forget. Apparently I can forget his name. I'm just tired. But he said, be smart with your money now so that you can be stupid with your money later. And it was like, that's a light bulb moment packed into a quote, right? Don't buy that VR headset. Be smart with that money. Don't buy Starbucks every day. Make your own coffee. Like, save every bit that you can and invest it. And then when you get to the point where your investments are making you, like in his case, millions, then you can be stupid with your money, right? Don't be stupid with your money when you only have $10,000. Be stupid with your money when you have $10 million, right? And even for him, like, that's not enough, so you got to get to that point where you're comfortable and you feel that you've made it, per se. Look, Mom, I made it. Anyways, get to that. Like, that, it's such a powerful quote. Be smart with your money now so you can be stupid with it later. Like, it's such a good one. I'll never forget that one. Are you going to do real estate in the future, like flipping and stuff? I actually tried to do that. Well, I started to try to do it before I got into this, but then we had kids and I just didn't have time to keep getting into it, and we ran out of money to even think about doing it. So probably not. The reason I got out of it was because the competition around here is ridiculous. I've said this on stream before, that unless you know people who know these houses are going on the market before they even go on the market, it's hard to get a hold of these houses. And even, the margins are so small. Like, you see these TV shows, well, they're in areas where there's like no competition, and they can go in and like lowball the crap out of these offers, where in like my general area, people will almost pay to where they're only making like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a flip. And that's not knowing if they're going to run into any problems, so their profits could be wiped out with just like one pretty big problem. And that's the risk that these people are taking around here because the competition's so heavy. But unless you know somebody, you see them signs up all over the place, that we buy houses for cash and stuff like that, because there's just so many of them around here. So it's really where we live now. It's kind of pointless. But okay, I will now give you guys 2 more minutes. It's like a rolling clock. Once I am done talking and answering all your questions. But I mean, not even buying and holding like rental property. Well, I did that in the past. I was a landlord for 7 years and I hated it. Um, if it was a house that was like next door, possibly. And if it was a house that I was making money on to where I could still pay a management company to take care of it, then yeah, that'd be nice. But I was managing the property. I was fixing everything because we weren't making enough money, cash on cash return each month to pay a management company every month to hire people to fix everything. So every time something needed to be done, I had to go fix it. I had to take off time from work to go fix it. I had to just go do it, like take time out of my day to do it. So it gets to the point where I was just like, nah, I can't do this. So maybe in the future, it could be something to look into if like the right deal comes along, but it's not something that I'm going out of my way looking for right now. But it definitely is a good passive income to get into if you can. Yeah, KD, we actually moved down to Florida for a little bit in Lutz. I don't know if you know where that's at. It's about a half an hour north of Tampa. It's like northeast of Tampa. And we bought our house for, it was like 265,000, I think it was. We were only there for 2.5, 3 months. And by the time we left, we actually ended up selling it for completely break even after closing cost on buying and selling. We sold it for, it was like 288 or something like that. That was in 2.5 months. It was crazy. And now when I look it up, it's actually worth like 320, like down or where that was. It's a new community and they were still building houses in there. They were just finishing up, but now it was all done a little bit after we had left. Houston, oh, there's always going to be bad areas. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Real estate can be crazy. I have a couple people that are talking about buying, like looking to move now, and I'm like, it's so iffy. I told the wife if we could afford, like if we could find someone to buy our house and let us rent for them, I did the math. It would take 6.5 years for us to break even from paying what we would make on our house now to be like not go in debt, but like to where we wouldn't have made out by waiting for the market to drop a little bit. Because the market is, I mean, we all know it's at all-time highs right now. It's just, it keeps climbing and climbing. And it's like, when's the pullback coming, right? It's like everyone thinks that a pullback's coming. It probably is coming, but obviously nobody knows when it's going to come. So it's kind of, it's interesting to think about. It really is. Okay, 2 minutes. What the? I don't know. Sorry, my Philips Hue thing does this like every once in a while. I muted it so you guys can't hear it, but there we go. And it's done. It like ruined my my flux thing though, so give me 1 sec. There we go. Real estate is not always guaranteed money. I think people have made losses from real estate because of maintenance and stuff. Yeah, well, that was us. We were literally breaking even every year, actually probably losing a couple $100. So when we actually finally sold the house, like 8 years later, the money that we actually made from that, which was probably like, I want to say it was like $9,000. It wasn't even that much because the market was going down at the time. And that was kind of partly why we cut our losses, because we were like, well, let's just cut our losses before the market really dives, and then we end up, underwater again, and then we are forcing ourselves to keep renting. So we sold it and pretty much all that money was money that we had spent over the course of that 7 years to keep the thing afloat. Because we had 3 separate tenants in it over the course of 7 years. And at the end of 2 of our tenants, we basically had to redo everything because they weren't the best of tenants. The area wasn't like that great, so they weren't taking care of the house. And that's the other thing. It's like, depending on the area, you're gonna have tenants most likely not taking care of your crap. So it's a pain in the butt that you have to constantly replace everything. And yeah, it's a butt. My rent is $13.30. It's going to go up to $14.40. Rent goes up $100 each lease. Ouch. I'm on the East Coast, half hour north of West Palm. Bought brand new built house for $209K, already worth $269. Yeah, Florida's becoming the state, man. I really wish we would have stayed down there. I loved it down there. But my wife, she was the moneymaker. That was actually when I became a full stay-at-home dad, because I was still working for the government. But when we moved to Florida, we came to the conclusion that was it for me. I'm just going to work, or I'm going to find something to try to do at home while I took care of the kids. But I didn't even get a chance. By the time we got set up, I was already packing the move again. So that was kind of crappy. I loved it there, but she hated her job. She hated the commute. The traffic was a lot worse than we thought it was going to be. Like we were only 20 minutes from her job, but on the way home, it would take her like 45 to 50 minutes. And it was just the people at her new job. They kind of misled her when we flew down there to interview and check the place out and stuff like that. And we used to visit Clearwater every year for vacation before we had kids. So that was kind of the reason that we jumped on the opportunity to move down there, and because we knew we loved the area. But once we were down there, not for vacation, and it was for work and for her, it was for her and work. For me, it was like vacation every day. The neighborhood we were in had 2 swimming pools. One of them had a big splash pad for the kids. So me and my oldest, Braden, he was around 1.5 at the time. So we were doing that every single day. It was amazing. But, she's the one that was making the money, and she started getting... Okay, so 2 things. As we were moving, she found out she was pregnant with our second kid. We got down there. Like I said, the people kind of misled her with the job. They told her that they were going to kind of give her more of a managerial type role where she could kind of give her input and people would kind of, listen to her, because they were bringing her down there supposedly to improve their business. And apparently that isn't how it was happening while she was there. And then the commute thing, and then she started getting homesick, and it was literally a snowball, just getting bigger and bigger. And it got to the point where we actually argued because of it. And I said, let's just go home, right? I was like, let's just go home. And she never agreed quicker to something like a big decision like that quicker in our whole relationship. And I was like, okay, she obviously was getting to that where she just wanted to go home. So we were there for almost 3 months, and we literally packed up and went back home. The only cool thing about going back home was there was a full lunar eclipse over the state of North Carolina. And we literally were leaving. We were supposed to leave a week earlier, but we stayed an extra week so that we could, as we were driving home, stop and see it. So that was pretty cool. My son got to see it and everything. It was really cool. So that was the one good thing that came out of that. Plus, I basically was on vacation for 2.5 months, so that was nice. Yeah, good tenants are definitely the key. Apparently, I missed what you said. Cozy cabin or mansion? Wait, what? Treasure Coast. Any broker fees? Oh, I see what you guys are talking about. Yep, but hard to find. So true. I wouldn't say my tenants, they weren't bad. They always paid on time. Just the one had kids and the other one had dogs. So it was just they would do things that would ruin, a section of the house. And it was you had to just replace it. It sucked. Wow, Airbnb is looking to IPO apparently. It could be a good long-term investment. Yeah, it could be. Airbnb is definitely something that a lot of people do for some cash. I remember watching a couple YouTube videos on it. Apparently it can be very daunting as well. All right, now you guys got until 1 o'clock, so you got 6 minutes. This is what I'm talking about, though. I give you guys a deadline and come up with something to talk about. But this time I am cutting it off regardless. So we'll talk until 1 o'clock, and then I'm getting out of here. It's been a good night. I like nights like this. I like the engagement. Let me pull up the good old subscribe button. Pachow! Like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell. It'll let you know when I go live or post a new video. All that good stuff. And if you haven't donated $100 to the channel, what are you guys waiting for? Links, it's the first link, I think, in the description. Get to it. Let's go. JK. Anything you do donate, though, goes right back to the channel. You guys, oh, the webcam. That was another one. Totally forgot. If you go back and watch one of my first videos, let's just go to the channel. It'll be easier. Sort by oldest. See, the very first one that I had a webcam, was it this one?
In here, this is where you would.
Nope, still don't even have a webcam there. I just took a picture of myself. Dun, dun, dun. Let's try this one.
What's up, traders? One trade on DSS today using the pop and drop strategy.
I got the new microphone on that one.
What's up, traders?
Ooh, I even got the the green screen.
Using the descending triangle and the pop and drop. One in the pre-market.
Oh, that descending triangle. A little pop and drop right there at the bell. That was back when I traded stuff like that.
What's up, traders?
Stupid Twitter. Dang, look at that. That was back when my kiddo was so small that he okay, I know that's the new webcam. I'm trying to find one with the old webcam. Guess it's somewhere around here.
What's up, traders?
Yeah, look at this. There it is. Look at that. Look at that old webcam. I had the new mic, but I didn't have the webcam. Let me see if I can find one with the old webcam and the old mic. That was TYHT. Let's try this one.
What's up, traders? So one trade today on hair.
So this is when I got the new webcam, but I didn't have a green screen. You can see I was trying to use the technology that they have to kind of give you a green screen, but not really. So that's the old mic or old webcam for sure. Let's keep going. There it is. So this was me using the old webcam and the mic on the old webcam. Pretty crazy. Like, listen to that. How late do you sleep in on the weekends? As long as my wife will let me. Usually till 9 o'clock is when she wakes me up. Non-trading related YouTubers that you follow. That's a good question. I like that. Let's check it out. I'll show you everyone that I follow. Is there a way to just look at... I thought there was a way that you could pull these up. So live traders, so Joe Rogan, I just do the clips, the Joe Rogan Experience clips. Every once in a while, if I'm watching a clip and I really like the clips from that one, I will actually just go watch the whole podcast. Keto Connect. Keto Connect is a keto channel, mainly for recipes that I like to watch. Graham Stephan, he's not really trading related, but I don't really watch him too much anymore. But he kind of took off and then kind of just blip. Formula One of my favorite things in the world, so obviously follow them. Mark Rober. If you don't follow Mark Rober, you should. The dude is a genius. And he literally uploads one video a month, and trust me, every video that he has is worth watching. Joe Duff is another keto guy. Brad Owen is a poker guy. I watch his poker vlogs. Sarah Dietschy, she's a tech guy, kind of like MKDBH. Is that his MKDBH? Marques Brownlee. Same thing, but a lot easier to look at. Magic Secrets Revealed. I always am the skeptic when it comes to people doing magic, and so I just watch these sometimes. I also like doing magic for my oldest, and he likes it. So I actually have a thing right now. I used to work for the county in the traffic engineering department, so I know how like the street lights work, not street lights, the street signals work. So like it's pretty easy to tell when a light's going to turn green when you can see the other lights. You can just watch the one turn red, and then if you know the order of the lights, you can pretty much determine when yours is green. So I have this little thing where I just count down and say, I'm going to use my magic to turn the light green. And I'll be like, 3, 2, 1, green. And it'll turn green. And he's just like, whoa. It's pretty cool. This guy is one of the coolest guys I've ever watched. Silver Symbol. He's a guy that does yard, like he has a bunch of yard work stuff. And basically he teaches you how to like revamp your yard, turn it into something that looks like crap into something good. He also shows you like different tips and tricks on how to keep it looking good. Also like how to keep mosquitoes away, like stuff like with actual stuff that works. So that's why I follow him. I'm just trying to skip all the trading channels. Pix and Perfect. He's a guy that I was using for trying to learn how to use Photoshop a little bit more. BarrioTube is a guy that I actually met on Omegle when I tried getting on Omegle randomly for a couple days, and he's a really cool dude. So I ended up subscribing to his channel. He puts out he's actually really good at video editing. He's just a gamer. I forgot OMFG. That's like a music site. That was actually from one of the Friday Night Live streams that somebody mentioned this, and I liked what I had heard. It was kind of like a techno type stuff. And Marley is the last one. She's also a poker player, and she's easy to look at. So that was kind of why I put her on there. I don't really watch her too much, to be honest. But yeah. Oh, by the way, Trick Trades. He did some giveaway for hitting 10K subscribers. I'll do it live. I'm going to unsubscribe. His giveaway was such crap. It was such bull. He said he was doing a live giveaway for hitting 10K subscribers, a big laptop, like gaming laptop giveaway with 2 extra USB monitors. And he puts out a YouTube story, which you can't view YouTube stories on the desktop, or I'd show you, where he announces the winner. And it's literally just him announcing the winner. Like, how scammy is that? I'm sorry, dude. This dude likes to call out other people, and I'm not really trying to call him out here. If he wants to show how he actually got the winner and it was completely random, then okay, I'll eat my words. But to just make a YouTube story and just randomly just announce a winner without showing that it was completely random, I'm not buying that shit. That's like those modern rock guys and stuff, like giving away Porsches, and they act like they're giving it away to like one of their random subscribers or people in the room or whatever, and it ends up being one of their business associates. Like, get out of here. Like, it was clearly set up. But again, if Pat wants to come out and call bullshit and actually put a video out of him doing it completely random, again, I'll eat my words. But until he does that, I don't believe it for a second. It's true. I'm the reason I was subscribed. The reason I subscribed to him in the first place, which I'm sure a bunch of people did, was to try to win the giveaway. Who wouldn't want to win that giveaway? It was a pretty awesome laptop. But at the same time, to literally announce it via a YouTube story, not even like a video or like going live on YouTube, like why doing a big giveaway like that you hyped up for so long? Why would you not like go live on YouTube and do a random drawing? And like get some more hype, get the views, get the attention. It makes no sense. Why would you just make some random YouTube story and just announce the winner that way without any proof of how you did it? It makes no sense to me. Who's the female Casey Neistat? Sarah Peachy rhymes with Peach, or Sarah Dici rhymes with Peachy if you're new here. She is pretty cool. But yeah, I kind of was annoyed with Pat for doing that. It really annoyed me because I like Pat. I like the way that he talks shit about everybody. But I guess now he's going to talk shit about me, but whatever. If he finds out about this. Yeah, it really kind of pissed me off because like one of the big things he's about is like don't believe all these gurus and all the bullshit that they feed you and stuff like that. Well, until he proves to me that that was a random drawing, I'm gonna call bullshit because it makes no sense. That is such a big opportunity to make such a big deal. Like he premieres a bunch of his videos and stuff like that. Well, why would you not premiere a video about the biggest giveaway on your channel? Why would you not go live for the biggest giveaway on your channel? It makes no sense to me. There's no way it was random. That's why. Yeah. Clay Trader. Clay Trader is interesting. I think I'm still I'm pretty sure I see his pop up on my feed. I don't really watch him anymore though. Yeah, he's on there. If you notice, you don't see Trading Monkey. You don't you don't see Warrior Trading. There's a bunch of them on here that you don't see. But okay, guys, I said I was gonna cut off at 1. You got an extra 5 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. So real quick, I'm gonna talk about Clay. Clay, a lot of people don't like the way he trades. I liked the way that he was trading in the past. It was fine. He was trading the exact same way I do, just a little differently. He was trading intense moves, looking to get in, but the problem with him is he scalps, right? He's just scalping like $50, $75, whatever it is. But then he'll let a stock go thousands of dollars against him. It makes no sense to me. Like, why are you just scalping? Oh, I'll just take it if it gives it to me. I'll just take it if it gives it to me. But then it'll drop like a whole, like he'll take 20 cents and it'll just drop a whole nother point without him because that's all he was about is scalping. But if it goes against him, he'll just add and add and add. And it's like, dude, there's no way that can. And now the new way he's been trading makes even less sense. Like he's waiting for it to come down to a key breaking point and he'll short right there at the key break, looking for that key break to cover into the wash. And then if it doesn't, and it starts going against him, he'll look to add. It's like, dude, that's like one of the worst things you can do because now you got the worst entry possible since it's now bouncing. Like, I don't understand his recent trades and where he's going with those. It reminds me a bunch of how Mir Barak trades from the TradeNet room. And that style of trading just makes no sense to me. That's actually how Garage Day Trader used to trade, and hence he got away from that because it's not sustainable at all because you're going to run into those ones that go against you, and if you just keep adding, there's going to be times where it just squeezes back up into that gap because it's just not going to work. But good chatting. Have a good night, bro. All right, good night. I'm going to go watch Friends or Two and F-Men. Got you guys. All right, I'm out of here as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have any questions or comments over the weekend, feel free to find me in the Discord or you can leave them on the channel somewhere, all that good stuff. And don't come on Monday looking to trade. I'll see you guys Tuesday morning. Peace.